All right, so I ended up basically purchasing somebody's entire childhood because I hopped onto eBay for like the billionth time the other day, and a gigantic original Felicity collection was just there for the purchasing. So I ended up getting a vast majority of Felicity's early Pleasant Company collection, which y'all know that early Pleasant Company is my at this point. This channel might be a little bit of a dumpster fire, but whose life isn't these days? So yeah, let's hop into this Felicity collection because I can't wait to see everything. Okay, so yeah, I cannot resist a burgundy box on eBay, especially if it's from the first edition of something from Pleasant Company. So this is the version of the boxes that Felicity was originally shipped in. They had the like burgundy box with this little, some people call it like a cigar band. I can see why, obviously, because this looks like a gigantic burgundy cigar, but it's just this little paper belt that they added on here because the original version of the packaging they were doing in the 80s was a very labor intensive to put together. So they kind of streamlined it a little bit. And so this is what it looked like basically from like 1988 until 1992. So we're going to be talking a little bit about packaging today because I've got some mysteries I'm trying to figure out because now that I'm trying to like do some research on something, like there's nothing on eBay that I can use as research. So anyway, this is a first edition Felicity box. It's got the burgundy lid with the white cardboard backing and this like ivory colored paper belt that goes around it. And a lot of times this paper belt is super hard to find just because obviously things like this get thrown away over the years. And this doll is like 30 something years old. This is a first edition Felicity, and Felicity can be a little bit hard to date. I have the original packaging and everything, so I based on all of this, I know that it was from the first year that she was released, and this is like a first issue Felicity. So let's go ahead and get the box lid off so we can actually look at her because this is such a treat. So these you can slide off or they like unhook at the back, and luckily they don't have any SKU information or anything on them, so we just put that aside for later. But today is also going to be I'm going to try and figure out what of this stuff that I'm actually going to keep because I can't keep it all. I've been spending too much money and bringing too many things into my house, and a few of these things are duplicates too. This is my fourth Felicity doll, and I think it's my fourth first edition Felicity too. I'm either going to sell this doll or one from my collection, but yeah, this one is super cute, what you're about to see. Let me take the box lid off. I mean, is that not the prettiest and coolest thing you've ever seen? I mean, this looks almost like a perfectly mint first edition Felicity. I do think that this doll was enjoyed by her previous owner. I actually think that I purchased this from somebody that knew the original owner because they told me a little anecdote about it. But I feel like, I don't know if I want to say all that stuff or not. It feels kind of like private information. But yeah, so she's mine now. Yeah, this is a first edition Felicity and the original packaging. And to me, it's just such a sight to behold as somebody who never got the original experience of having a Pleasant Company American Girl doll when I was a child. So it's really a treat to be able to open them almost as if you were the first person to purchase them and you got them directly from Pleasant Company. But I do think that this doll was played with a little bit, but I can tell it was probably an older child because everything has all of its original packaging and it's all in pretty pristine condition, I have to say. So other than a few flyaways, I think this Felicity looks great. She may or may not end up in my shop, and maybe she's there right now if you want to have a look. Link in the description. But yeah, Felicity was one that was sort of like under the radar for me for a while because I got so carried away with collecting all of the first edition stuff from the 80s, like for the first couple of years that I was collecting. So I really was focusing on Molly, Samantha, and Kirsten and just building like really super strong, awesome collections. And I'm glad I did because that stuff is getting harder and harder to find now that all of the 2020 and 2021 attic cleaning has mostly been done. So some of this stuff is getting harder to find because everybody's done their recent purge because of the pandemic, but some of this stuff still does pop up. But yeah, I just spent so much time working on the original three girls that I kind of have neglected Felicity and Addie, who are dolls that I really, really love, and they're dolls from my childhood era. But I knew that those things were a little bit more readily available, so I spent so much time on the other ones that there still has been some key stuff from Felicity and Addie that I am just now getting after collecting all these years. So anyway, here's the first edition pamphlet for Felicity the doll, which has her name, Felicity Merriman, and the original. Actually, I don't think this photo was in the catalog. I think this photo was taken exclusively for the pamphlets, because you just see the doll without her meat accessories and the Meet Felicity book in a hardback. And then the back of this pamphlet here, I don't know if you can see that super well on screen, depending on how big of a monitor you're watching me on, but it has the copyright 1991. And these boxes and these pamphlets changed later on in 1992. They actually started putting burgundy borders on the front of these, and obviously the copyright years changed. So this is a first issue pamphlet for Felicity, and you'll see this in the doll boxes. Yeah, and again, a 1991 copyright and no like burgundy border on the front. So it's really great that this came with her too, because a lot of times these things can get lost. Like the smaller something is, the easier it is for it to kind of get lost in somebody's basement over the years. We have a first edition Meet Felicity book, which is such a strong memory for me because I definitely remember reading these books. I didn't get the dolls and the accessories, but I did get my hands on the catalogs and the books. And this came with the original 6-book set, all in hardback. Actually, I'll show you. It came with the keepsake collection. So I'll go ahead and just put this in here so you can see it. But I really, really love. Actually, I think the bookmark's in here. Hang on. This was the original keepsake version of the book set that you could purchase. And I need to check my catalogs to refresh my memory, but I am pretty sure you could purchase the books with this bookcase on them. I know that this bookcase you could purchase it separately, basically. So you would basically get this empty because it's just generic. It doesn't say anything about Felicity or like any of the characters on it. And it would come with this, and this, again, this bow is a little bit gnarly, but you would get this sort of like, I don't know how to describe this material, but it's sort of like an olden-timey like hardback book material, but it's really, really nice looking, and it's got this beautiful gold foiling on it. It's very traditional looking. It almost looks like an Encyclopedia Britannica. Do y'all remember those? Like, if you grew up in the 80s, you remember, like, I would say most of you probably had like the full encyclopedia in your house, and a lot of times they were like this color because we didn't have the internet. So if you needed to do some research for like a book report or whatever, you would have to go dig through, like go to a library, or if you were lucky enough to have the encyclopedia at your house, like use that. That's like, what a wild time, right? And it also came with this really cool like metal gold bookmark with a version of the Pleasant Company logo on it, which I think is so cool. These are kind of hard to find. I've actually over the years had to go purchase a few of these to pair with my keepsake book sets. But yeah, you could just purchase this little bookmark with this case and then put your like basically package your Felicity books. But yeah, this one is in amazing shape, like the books especially. I need to kind of clean up the ribbon, which, as a tip, if you do get one of these and the ribbon's a little bit marled looking, you can straighten it with a flat iron if you do it very quickly on the lowest setting. You basically soak this in water so it doesn't fry, because you can fry these and they'll shrivel up. So you get it really wet and just quickly pass on the lowest setting with your flat iron, and it will flatten this. And when you tie the bow, it looks so neat and pretty. Like, it really is a beautiful thing to behold in your collection. And I usually stick these on the shelves with my dolls. Right now, my display is like a little bit not the best right now because it was so, in my opinion, beautiful and perfect in Oregon, and I never got it back to that state. And I've been in North Carolina for almost a year now, and I just feel like my collection is not quite what it used to look like. But I do love putting these on display with the dolls because they're just so beautiful. And the books were such an important part of Pleasant Company. I feel like I should probably get to showing you the doll. I'm going to have such a high bounce rate on this video if I don't show somebody a doll soon. But please don't leave me. But these books are just such an like integral part, I don't care, of the Pleasant Company lore and the history. It was all about the books. Well, it was all about the dolls, but this was basically the propaganda that helped sell all of the dolls. And this is so important for all of us early Pleasant Company people as these books and these stories. And to have these books that were not printed with acid-free paper, so they yellow quite a bit over time. These were obviously kept in a climate-controlled area out of the sunlight because they look almost brand new. Like this is so pretty. So I might not even put this on display because it's like in that good of a condition, but it's always fun to get these kinds of things because again, it's just this just speaks to the level of sophistication that Pleasant Company had. All these, at least while Pleasant Rowland was in charge, she just really like she was so freaking classy. Like, hello, this is like classy as hell. Like, so I love these things. This to me just show like it's so luxurious. I just absolutely love this stuff. But anyway, let me show you the doll finally. So I know this doll was actually played with. I know the lighting's getting kind of crazy. I don't think this looks too blown out, but I do know that she was taken out of the box and enjoyed for a little bit by a child, but she really kept her in very good condition. Even the hand tag on the doll is like still flat, which is kind of amazing. But in addition to that, let me take her out really quick. I don't know if you can see in the bottom. I've left her neck brace in the bottom just so it doesn't snag her hair anymore. But it also, she also came with, like, y'all, this is the original rubber band that strapped Felicity in the box. And again, this is how I know this was like stored properly because this rubber band isn't rotted and most of them are like dried out and crumbly at this point in time. It's really hard to find these in good shape. So when you talk about all those like dumb little details that maybe seem like not a big deal, like packaging, like ephemera and stuff, like I have seen maybe one other of these rubber bands not like basically in this good a condition. So this was really cool. And the way this worked was there were two holes, and if you can see them, like basically below the neck brace, there's a hole in the middle and then a hole at the bottom. And that's where the doll's feet and waist are. So the way this would work was they would I think they would put the rubber band around the doll's waist before putting it in the box. So basically it goes around her waist and then it's fed through the back of the box in the middle, pulled down across the back, and then back through the bottom hole to strap her feet in. It was a little bit complicated, but I think that's how Goods was doing their dolls in the early days, and they just did the same thing with the Pleasant Company dolls that they were making. So these, yeah, especially if they were left stretch out over the years, these usually have like crumbled, but it's really cool to have one that's in good shape. I might see if I can find a dupe for this so I can restore some of my other box dolls where they've been messed up. But yeah, this is a perfectly complete Felicity. Oh my God, she is so pretty. Even just looking at her on the monitor, I am so blown away with how stunningly beautiful Felicity is. Now, I remember, I started to tell you earlier that I wasn't focused so much on Felicity when I was collecting earlier on, but once I like finally got like my first Felicity doll, which was the first edition, and started getting some of her collection, I was like, okay, you can kind of see how like Pleasant Rowland had some money to work with as far as like the budget on this doll because there were a lot more details and original designs because some of that 80s stuff, like for Molly, Samantha, and Kirsten's collection, they weren't original designs. They were just objects that she bought wholesale from that were already in production, like in the 80s from other companies, and repackaged them as accessory sets for the dolls and stuff. So I would say about half of the original Pleasant Company collection wasn't designed by Pleasant Rowland. It was just kind of curated. But Felicity was like ground up designed. And you can see like that this was Pleasant's pet project. I think Felicity was what she probably originally wanted to do fully for Molly, Samantha, and Kirsten, but just I say she didn't have the budget. I mean, she had a cool $1 million to do it, but it doesn't go a long way when you're trying to do 3 dolls and full accessory sets, publish books, mail out catalogs. Like she had a lot going on. So to like actually be able to sit down, focus on one doll and really put money into her and her collection, you can see it with Felicity. We're going to see some things today where we're like, wow, that is truly amazing quality. It's not just like a big pile of taffeta. So it starts with the doll. I mean, and this one is all original too. She's got her original shift underneath. I think that's what the underwear is called. Which again, a full like I'm assuming historically accurate, like basically shins to collar underwear set, which is kind of getting lost down here. But yeah, Felicity was the first original tan body doll to be released, and she's the one to thank for changing from white bodies to tan bodies. And I feel like most of you, if you're watching this by now, have heard this a million times, but yes, the reason we have tan bodies now is because Felicity had part of her like a décolletage showing, and they didn't want that to look white because it obviously looked strange. So they changed the color to tan so that when she had her like décolletage showing, that it would match the vinyl, kind of, even though it still kind of looks insane. But she does have a like this coral necklace that is part of her meat accessories that goes with it. That is was a really smart choice for Felicity because it hides this little seam here that we all hate, where you can see like the joint where it changes from vinyl to cloth, and that coral necklace that basically is like a choker. I love a choker for an American Girl doll because it really kind of hides that transition between vinyl and cloth, and that's what she had with her meat accessories. But like, look how crispy this is, like no stains, and this like doesn't need a steam cleaning or anything. The trim detail is like perfectly like, I'm trying to think of a word that isn't disgusting, and it's slipping me right now, but I just know a million awful R-rated words are running through my head right now. But yeah, she's amazing. Like this, I couldn't get over how great Felicity was once I finally started seeing her in her collection in person, because you can tell Pleasant had the passion and the money to make this happen, and she made her dreams come true. Like every idea, it feels, I bet, like it just sort of, you get the sense that like Felicity had no restrictions whatsoever. It's like if Pleasant wanted to like give her like a full Windsor writing chair made out of wood and spindles with a drawer, she did it. So yeah, Felicity's like, we're about to see some really, really cool stuff today, but I just wanted you to have time to like drink this doll in, because first edition Felicity is, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, the most beautiful Felicity in existence. One of the hallmarks of a first edition Felicity, if you don't have like access to her like receipt and like paperwork and stuff, is she has really, really rosy red cheeks. And I kind of liken it to sort of like rosacea, which is, I just think that is, I am jealous of people that have rosacea. I think it is so cute. Like whatever your gender is, rosacea cheeks, I know some people like that have it don't, I don't know if it comes with any sort of like pain or anything along with it, but I know that there are some people that have it that don't like it. But just know that there are people that think it looks so cute. And I just, there's just something about like a rosy cheek, like where you have blush built in. Like I think it just brings some life to your face. I don't know. And I feel like Felicity has that. Like it's sort of like these like flush cheeks, like the Pleasant Company face, I say face paint, but like their quote unquote makeup or whatever in the like late 80s and early 90s was very, very peachy. And that's why it's a little bit on the easy side to figure out if a Felicity is first edition or not, because the like 1992 ones had like very peachy coloring, but this one you can see here like very, very rosy. It's like a lot of red undertones instead of like orange undertones. And to me, it just looks so beautiful with her hair color, her eyes, her dress, even because it's got all of these burgundy tones in it. Like, this is honestly, I think this might be the prettiest Felicity doll in my collection. I think I'm going to keep her and maybe kick another one to the curb. But look, I have gorgeous Felicity dolls. I have been very, very meticulous with the ones that I've picked up and kept. And yeah, this might be the prettiest one. They just have a certain softness and like, I don't know, I just think that they are so incredibly gorgeous. She only has one of her little pin curls sticking out. I think they refer to them as tendrils, which I love the word tendril because it makes me think of Clueless at that, like, a little bit cringy of a scene, but I love the scene where Cher's talking about Ty. I think she's trying to, like, get Elton to... God, I haven't seen Clueless in years. I need to watch it again. But she's trying to get Elton to, like, notice Ty. And she's, like, talking about how her hair is. She's like, but I also love it when it's, like, pulled up and it just has those curly tendrils, you know? Like, that's what I think of with Felicity, with a redhead with tendrils is Ty. Rest in peace, Brittany Murphy. You are truly missed. But yeah, I mean, I have not seen many Felicity dolls that are this pretty. And let me tell you, not all Felicity dolls are pretty. I have seen some busted, fugly Felicities. Sorry if that's your doll. It's probably not. I feel like if you're keeping her, you think she's pretty. But yeah, there was a period in Felicity's history where her face was as ugly as her parents passed. So yeah, first edition Felicity, gorgeous green eyes. Like, I'm not a super expert on Felicity. There are some people that really tear into like the eye tie, like the eye color, the neck stamps, and the hair ribbons and all that. But for me, like Felicity didn't have a lot of good changes, so I don't really worry about it too much. I know how to spot a first edition, and I clamor for them anytime I see them. But I need to be good. Like I said, this is my fourth one, and I really need to probably try and get it down to at least three, maybe two. But oh my gosh, I can't stop showing her off. She's so pretty. You can see, like, she's actually got her original ponytail in. I can feel that the rubber band that they used to, like, because Pleasant Company used rubber bands up until it was after Addie. I think it was, yeah, even Josefina had a black rubber band in her hair. So they were using, like, proper rubber bands for a long time before switching to, like, clear elastics. So I can feel and kind of see the original rubber band underneath here. I don't want to disturb this as of right now, even though she's got some flyaways, but I'm pretty sure this is her original meat hairstyle. It's just been sort of roughed up a little bit after being in the box for probably 30 years. But honestly, like, I feel like the back of my head looks worse right now, so I'm going to try not to turn around. But yeah, I absolutely love this Felicity. Again, original hand tag, like her hand tag for the hair care. And in addition, I guess because we're going slow today, I want to look at all the details. You can see here she has the original made in West Germany tag with a 1986 copyright. And boy, like that's also in great shape too. You probably aren't going to be able to see that super well, but yeah, this is an all original Felicity from 1991, and she is so pretty. Oh, and another thing too is her socks have not been like eaten by insects. Like you'll notice a lot of times that you'll see Felicities for sale, and they have a bunch of holes in their socks. It's just because insects have gotten to them because these are like natural real wool which they changed over the years eventually, but yeah, a lot of times you'll see an old Felicity and she'll like her socks will be half eaten because just know that like if you buy a doll whose socks are like that, she's had bugs crawling all over her at one point. So keep that in mind if you have OCD like I do. So anyway, this is Felicity. We might end up looking at her some more again. I just feel like she's not getting enough face time, but if I put her in frame, she's gonna like make my head blurry for the entire video. So we're going to stick her back in her box. And like I said, when I purchased this, I knew when I purchased this lot, I would be selling some of this stuff because it was an expensive lot. It wasn't just like somebody cleared out their entire Josefina collection for $150 like I'd scored not that long ago, which we're doing a video on that very, very soon. But I did have to pay a fair price. It wasn't super high. It was definitely worth the money. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm basically using this as a way of like upgrading a lot of stuff in my collection because a lot of this is first edition and it has all the packaging and everything. So this was a really good upgrade for my Felicity collection that has been kind of neglected over the years. So now that I've done that, both with, well, not only with her, but Addie and Josefina as well, I've really lucked into some really great, well-priced lots this year that my collections for those three dolls have really gotten zhuzhed up in the like literally in the last like 3 months. So it's kind of inspired me to start going in and like filling in the gaps in the collection. And I need to do the same thing with Felicity. There are a couple of really rare accessory sets that I still need to pick up. But yeah, that's Felicity. All right, I have like a million boxes to get through. So let's go ahead and start looking at maybe the outfits. I think that'll be a good next thing to look at. All right, we're just going to look at these in whatever order they decide to come out of the box. I will say I was low-key nervous to receive this package because, like I said, I spent some money on it, but it was the only thing that they had listed really for Pleasant Company, and it was all listed together. So I was like, I just made the assumption that like all of the packaging was correct. But then after I had purchased it and the order had shipped, like a day after that, they ended up doing the same thing for Kirsten, which I didn't get because it was like a 1991 Kirsten collection, which isn't like, I shouldn't say it's not interesting to me. I actually would love to have a 1991 Kirsten collection, but my collection is older than that. And I'm trying to like, by upgrading, basically get first edition. So an 86 Kirsten collection is what I'm working on. But so I wasn't interested in purchasing the Kirsten collection. It was a good deal still, but I just didn't want all that stuff. So I saw that and I was like, oh my God, I hope they have not mixed up the packaging because it would be a nightmare to get all of this, to have like Kirsten's packaging for Felicity's outfits. Because that kills the value of all of this stuff. And part of this is like like I said, it's upgrading. I want the packaging, and what I don't want, I can like it adds value so I can trade or whatever to, to upgrade other things. So anyway, yeah, I was so nervous that the packaging was going to be wrong, but thankfully this was really well taken care of and looked after. So, I don't think well, actually I know I had a quick look to make sure it was all right when I when it got here, but yeah, everything is fully correct with the exception of like one thing which we can switch. So it's not a big deal. But so it looks like the first thing that we're going to be looking at is Felicity's winter outfit, which was just this like super thick, heavy cloak. And I'm guessing the materials are what made this expensive. Now, one of the things I was trying to remember, I could have sworn that Felicity's 1992 collection shipped in the original polyurethane, PU? I can't remember. I think it's polyurethane bags. So this is the second version of them. They did gift boxes from 1986 and up until early, like mid 1988. Then they switched to plastic garment bags in 1988, and they looked like this. Hang on. This is what the garment bags looked like starting in 1988. I absolutely love these, and I love the illustration on this. I think this was a bit of a downgrade, but not awful, but I get why. Again, this can kind of like lead you to believe that like you're buying the dress that's like pictured on here. So I get that it's a little bit problematic, but this is the 1988 packaging, and I was thinking they ran this into 1992. Like anything you buy up until from 88 to 91 will have this packaging unless it was something that needed to be put in a box. And then that box would have the same kind of style as the doll box that we looked at earlier from like, again, 88 to 92. But I could have sworn that Felicity's summer and winter collections that were released in 1992 came in the older style bag. But what came with this was what I thought was like the 1992 style. So I don't know. That's one thing that I was trying to dig up on eBay last night. I could have sworn, but I can't find an example now of a 1992 like summer or winter outfit for Felicity or birthday that has the old packaging. So that's something I'm going to have to continue to like dig into because again, my memory escapes me on this, but this is the original pamphlets. Again, this is the borderless pamphlet from Felicity's winter collection. Again, this is just like the catalog photo. So yeah, it's got a 1992 copyright, which is the first year for Felicity's winter, summer, and birthday. They were all three released in the same year. And on here, we also have a heart sticker, which I would consider to be kind of like transitional because these ended up being, by the time they released Addie, these were just like rectangles instead of hearts. But this says EWO, which means, oh, that's another fun fact. I forgot to show you the Felicity's box, but if you don't know, this is such fun, pleasant company lore. I thought this was so fun when I figured this out. The reason Felicity's product codes start with an E instead of an F, like the first letter of her first name, like Molly, Samantha, and Kirsten, is because Felicity, through most of her production, they actually were going to name her Elizabeth. So that was her original name, like through most of production. And at some point along the way, once like all the products had been like inventoried and everything, they changed the name. Like again, this would have been before everything was packaged up and shipped out. But when they were getting all of their like back end stuff, and I would assume computers at the time, but who knows anymore. But the product code had already been selected for Elizabeth. So like when you get a Felicity doll, it says like ED for Felicity doll, but she was originally going to be named Elizabeth. And for whatever reason, they changed it last minute, but I think that was a good choice. The name Felicity is such a beautiful name and it's so iconic, but that's why all of her product codes start with an E. And then if you are really kind of out of the loop, they ended up doing best friend characters for the dolls, and Felicity's best friend's name was Elizabeth. So that's kind of like fun lore. Anyway, let me just show you the freaking outfit. I feel like I've been talking about packaging for like 20 minutes and you're like, I'm already asleep. Stop. So these bags just kind of slide off. They have an adhesive on them that was to keep them closed, but you couldn't purchase these in stores. These were only sold in the catalog and shipped. So, they didn't have to focus too much on what the packaging looked like. It just needed to be good enough. And I feel like this is one of those like good enough scenarios. Anyway, this is all her winter outfit is. You just bought this felt cape, and it's so simple. There's no hemming or anything. It's literally just, it's a really nice felt. It's not like the felt you get at Michael's. It is like it's super thick, nice felt. So the only, like, other than cutting the pattern, they just sewn like this interesting hood that has like a hole in the back. Like, this is so Handmaid's Tale, right? But honestly, is that not fitting for her era anyway? I mean, hello, the colonial era was so messed up. But yeah, if you want to like cosplay Handmaid's Tale with Felicity, you totally can. This is like the only like construction on this garment is like attaching this hood here and like this, I don't know if this is cinching or what. And then they basically like top stitched some like ribbon on here for ties. I don't know if you can see this, but then you just tie it on. But this is all you got for Felicity's winter outfit. And you have people like Samantha who got like gaiters with her cape, and I don't know, it's just, and Molly had like a full like raincoat and rain hat. But yeah, super duper plain and simple. This is literally like, if you can see, like they basically just cut a circle with a pie wedge cut out of it. Like this, they must have made so much money on these. I feel like these probably didn't cost that much money to make, and I imagine they sold them for quite a bit of money, especially by like 1991 standards. But I really do love this. It looks so pretty on Felicity. I generally will put her in this with the accessory set that we'll look at in a minute that came with this. It is super beautiful. I'm not a red person, but Pleasant Company has definitely kind of gotten me into red and burgundy. I mean, I love the color burgundy now, which I never gave it a second thought until I started collecting American Girl. But now I'm like obsessed with the color burgundy. I'm like, I want a burgundy car. I want a burgundy hoodie. I want burgundy everything. So yeah, it's just a color that I associate with Pleasant Company now. So like I now love burgundy, and in turn have kind of started to get into red thanks to like a lot of Molly's collection and stuff. So anyway, that's her winter coat. Very, very simple, but it is good quality and it looks beautiful on the doll because it's so full. You saw how much of that circle was cut out and added like as part of the coat. It's not just like a little cape. It like envelops her and it ripples, and it is really beautiful. It looks so pretty on her. So here we have a 1991 set. So this is her school outfit. It says ESO on the product code, which means Felicity school outfit. This is actually something that I haven't had in my collection yet. It's just one of those items that's like randomly, stupidly expensive. I mean, they made thousands and thousands of these things, like tens of thousands at least of this outfit, but it's so crazy. Like to get like a regular one on eBay right now with no packaging and not even in like perfect condition is like $50, like with shipping. That's so insane. And I just dropped the freaking cap on the ground. I know I say this like this hasn't been like handled by a I shouldn't say a disgusting child, like it's specific to the person that owned this collection, because I can tell they actually really took care of this stuff and it's all clean for the most part. But yeah, I'll get mad when I drop something on the ground. I'm like, wait a minute, like who cares? Like it's probably not any dirtier than it was like 5 minutes ago because it's been like handled by gross children. But anyway, so let's look at the pamphlets. We haven't looked at that yet. So anyway, yeah, I just have not gotten my hands on this yet because I haven't found a cheap one. But finally, I found a really good Felicity lot, and that's how I ended up with it. So again, a 1991 set, so no burgundy on the pamphlet. It's a borderless pamphlet. And, these I think are probably not super duper interesting to read. But yeah, these pamphlets came with, you know, a little bit, some anecdotes about Felicity and girls of the time. So it's a fun thing to have with with the outfit. It came with a mob cap, one that often gets mixed with her meat accessories. The meat accessories have the ribbon on it that match uh, it has like a burgundy ribbon, whereas the school one has no ribbon on it. So this is correct to not have like the ribbon trim around it. But yeah, just a super simple mob cap, like she's in The Sopranos or something. All right, I actually haven't even laid eyes on this yet. I'm trying to be careful because you can see the adhesive is still on here. Give me 1 second because I don't want to mess this up and it's like starting to stick to things. Give me 1 sec. So I know this set was played with because there are little Felicity hairs all over this stuff, but you kind of have that like instant ick when you're like, ooh, there's a hair, and I'm like, oh wait, it's a doll hair. It's basically like fishing line, but Yeah, I could just see the love and care that was put into this collection because her top is still laced up and it's got a little bow on it. But yeah, I've never seen this in person. It's so pretty. Again, you can just see the love and care that went into designing and making this collection because I just feel like Felicity was kind of next level in terms of quality and detail. Like all of these trims and laces. I low key want a sofa or a chair like upholstered in this fabric. It is so pretty. It's so 80s, 90s looking, but they would have been working on Felicity in the 80s, like the very late 80s. They would have been designing all this stuff. So this is just so of the time. I feel like I want like a chair with this upholstery on it and like a goose cookie jar or something. Like, those geese like cookie jars with like the blue bonnet or whatever. I want one of those low key. I think that would be so fun, but this is so of the time. It's in great condition too. I'm really, really happy with this. But man, again, this is lined. Like, hello, it's lined. It's got grommets on each of the lace holes for this. This is why I love Pleasant Company because this is just unmatched. Now, I know that the original Barbie stuff from like the 60s had some similar care like put into the outfits. I mean, with zippers and things, but just to see it on an 18-inch doll scale, like 1/3 scale, I mean, this stuff is just so elegant and so beautiful, so well crafted. You just cannot beat early Pleasant Company. And I don't want to dunk on American Girl. I know that the world is different now and manufacturing is completely different now than it was in like 1990. So that it's partly to do with just how the world has changed, but I wish we could still get this stuff from a mainstream doll brand. It is so good. I know they're trying and they're doing a good job with the reproductions, but man, this early stuff is just absolutely incredible. Oh, I love it. We also have her skirt. Oh, this is interesting. I have never seen anybody do this way, and I've always thought that these hangers that they started making like in the late 80s, early 90s, see how they have these like little like coin slots in them? I thought that was for ribbons, but it's totally for like stuff like this. That's so interesting. So you can actually like loop her like Velcro closures for her skirt into there, and that keeps the skirt on the hanger. How smart. Now, that said, I am currently converting my entire American Girl wardrobe to the hangers that they make now because while they're kind of cheaply made and flexible, they are very, very smartly designed, and you can put just about any outfit on them, like pants, all of that stuff, without folding too many things or risking them getting wrinkled. So their current hangers are the best ones they've ever made, even though they're made a little bit cheaper. It's just a much better design, but yeah, I don't know if you can see. I'll try and get close, but I can't talk because I'll be away from the microphone. But I'm going to show you, like, this is, I don't know what type of fabric you would call this, but it's got almost like a little floral pattern, almost like, it looks like it's laser cut into it. It's obviously woven into it, but it's got a pattern to it and like a texture. It's really, really pretty. Let me show you. Isn't that cool? So that's like, I don't know, it's just all of these fine little details. Like these dolls were obviously handmade by artisans in West Germany. Very, very high quality dolls for a playline doll, like unheard of. And these clothes, I mean, especially with Felicity, it just really lives up to the expectation of what you would expect. And these were made in China. It wasn't like they're like artisan, like German made. Like they're made in mass production in a factory in China, but they still had like there was a quality standard that they were able to live up to. It wasn't just like, okay, we're going to make it as cheaply as humanly possible. I would assume the labor was cheaper in China at the time, and that's probably why. And I would say also, like, just in terms of manufacturing, again, at the time, to get artisan dolls made, I think Germany was the place to get it done in the 80s, and China just was probably where there was a better standard of construction at the time. So I would assume that the labor was cheaper and the standards were like easier to stay on top of. Because I will say, as controversial as it is to say as somebody who collects Pleasant Company, we all love the things that are made in West Germany, but I will say some of the outfits when they went from being made in like presumably the goods factory made in West Germany to being made in China, there was a quality increase at the time. So I do think that it was probably for both money and quality reasons that they very, very quickly went to China with the clothing production. But yeah, that's I guess, yeah, I don't know why I even made that point, but yeah, this stuff was all made in China. But again, it's still like I think a lot of people associate like just say, oh, it's made in China, it's bad quality, which that's a very problematic thing to assume and say. You like our iPhones are made in China. Being made in China does not mean that the quality is poor. It just means that the person that decided to make that product in China knew that they could go there and cut costs like so incredibly deep that you're going to suffer for the quality. But it's not the factory's decisions that are like making poor quality products. It's the Americans that are like trying to take as much profit as they possibly can at the expense of cheap labor. That's why you're getting poor quality. It's not China. It's actually the American CEOs making these decisions. Just FYI. So yeah. Anyway, that's your political lesson for today. So yeah, that's her school outfit. Incredibly beautiful. I'm gonna put this aside. I think I'm gonna put this on one of my Felicity dolls today, maybe later tonight when I'm trying to like chill out and relax before bed. I don't know. Maybe if I can remember by the end of this video, we'll put our new Felicity doll in this. But I just absolutely love this outfit. And again, this is the first time I've seen it in person. This pattern is so pretty. I cannot wait to put it on her. Alrighty then. Next up, we have another 1992 outfit. This is her birthday outfit, product code EBO. And you can see here, like I was saying earlier, see how it's a rectangular sticker instead of a heart-shaped sticker. This was made just a little bit later than her, was not the school outfit, whatever outfit the winter outfit we looked at earlier because of the different shaped sticker. I still need to figure out exactly if there are earlier versions in some of this stuff, because I will just probably go ahead and sell it and look for the original, like just the one that's like made just a couple months earlier because I'm crazy like that. But yeah, this is her birthday outfit. I'm going to try and be careful taking this out because this outfit has a lot of pieces. And I think they eventually switched to packaging this in boxes. I cannot remember for sure, but I swear I've seen this packaged in a box before. But we'll start with the pamphlets. That's always the first thing to fall out and get stepped on. So again, we have the catalog spread from her like birthday collection. Let's see. There it is in all its glory. One of the most beautiful things they've ever made. I have not gotten my hands on the tables, like the table and chair set and the accessories. All I have is the guitar because hello, she's ready to play corn songs. But yeah, I really cannot wait to have the space for this stuff. If I find it cheaply enough, I will buy it and put it in storage. But the birthday collections for the dolls are probably it's tough competition with Christmas because Christmas is so nostalgic for me with these collections. But objectively, the birthday collections, in my opinion, are the best because you get this very super duper very well made set of table and chairs. With the exception of Samantha, they were all made out of solid wood by like artisan wood makers. They are amazing quality. The only tables and chairs that I haven't gotten my hands on yet are Felicity's and Addie's. I have Josefina's and it's incredible. Like 11 years after the launch of the company, and it's still incredible quality, even in actually, I think her birthday collection came out in 1998. So Pleasant Rollin really, really was very persnickety, and it paid off. I just absolutely love all of just the detail and the quality. But yeah, if you were around in the 80s and early 90s, you would know that this like colonial, like Queen Anne style table and chairs was the thing to have. At least where I grew up. I grew up in the rural South, so we loved like country stuff and Queen Anne. Like if we had like there was an opportunity to get a Queen Anne dining set, my mom took it. So that's the kind of style of stuff that we had in the house that I grew up in was this like Queen Anne style furniture. So I really loved the Felicity collection. Like as far like well, her bed and her armoire and all of that stuff. Or I guess they called it clothes press. But yeah, again, that Queen Anne style furniture just has a piece of my soul. So I cannot wait to get the rest of this collection and set it up because every year on my birthday, which this is like it's like I laugh at it because it's funny, but it's a fun thing to do. It's very healing to do this. is I like to dress all like the original Pleasant Company dolls up in their birthday outfits and like put their birthday tables and stuff together because it's just like a nice meditative thing to do to like celebrate turning another year older. So, yeah, I can't wait to finally be able to do that with Felicity. Probably won't be this year because my birthday is in like 6 weeks, and I really have no business buying this, but I absolutely love this collection. Even the outfit we're about to look at. But yeah, boy, they really did an amazing job on these birthday spreads. It's truly my favorite thing that they ever did. And as far as like collections, so cool. Oh wow. So again, I haven't really torn into this yet. We're kind of seeing it together for the first time. I really just needed to make sure all like the SKUs and everything were correct, or the product codes on the packaging when I got it, because I was dreading having to like try and negotiate a return on this if the packaging was wrong, but it was right. So this came with the original, like, I think this describes how to use her pinner apron, because back in the colonial times, they used pins, like straight pins, I guess, to pin like aprons on their dresses. Again, I'm not a historical person. I'm a toy person, so just take it with a grain of salt. I'm just repeating what I've heard through like the fandom and like what I've read in pamphlets and stuff. So yeah, this actually came with literal straight pins, which is so crazy. They're actually not as sharp as I thought they'd be. They're incredibly tiny. I don't know how this passed any sort of standard, like where you were allowed to sell this to like an 8-year old. But yeah, this comes with like, I don't know. My intrusive thoughts are like taking over right now. I'm just like, all I can think about is like swallowing one of these. But yeah, it came with 4 straight pins to pin her apron onto her birthday dress, and then I guess some safety pins. If you're really dealing with a child that was wild and crazy and out of control. But yeah, even this still has like, these are still taped on to the pan. Like, that's how well this collection was taken care of. The pins have never been taken out. And, I always say the child either really, really loved it or really, really hated it for it to be in this good a condition. So yeah, it's really great to have this. I've had and currently have this in my collection right now, but I didn't have the pins that came with it. So this is finally completely complete. Yeah, this was never put on at all. This is incredible. So this is the headband that came with it that has the faux flowers tied in it. And I'll go ahead and grab one of, actually, this is my first Felicity that I ever purchased. She's actually in this outfit right now for some reason. Actually, I know the reason. I put her in her birthday outfit for my birthday last year, and I never took her out of it. That's why. But this is like, I can just tell this was done in the factory, this bow here. And this basically is going to go into my permanent archive collection, because I'm trying to build a perfect fresh from Pleasant Company collection. And I will not untie this bow, because this bow was tied in 1992. So yeah, this is incredibly pristine. This is so beautiful. Let me grab my Felicity that has this outfit on already, just so you can kind of get an idea of what this stuff is supposed to look like on a doll. So this is my original Felicity doll that I purchased probably in 2022. I want to say that's my best guess. Again, gorgeous first edition. Some of the things we talked about before, these really, really rosy cheeks that are so beautiful. But without going on a million like tangents about this doll, but you can see why it's going to be difficult to pick which doll to sell, because I feel like I just have really, really gorgeous Felicity dolls, because I spent the time figuring out which ones to get. But you can see how, like, you don't really need the pins, and I can see, like, all this stuff kind of like has enough friction that it stays up. So I've never, like, I didn't have the pins in the first place, but also I didn't want to like poke holes in this for no reason, because, on display you can't really see the pins anyway. But this is how the outfit actually looks on a doll. It's got this beautiful, like, rose pink dress with this, I mean, stunningly beautiful. I love all the florals in Felicity's collection. It really is probably my favorite part about it, is all of the beautiful, I mean, honestly, they look very 80s and 90s to me. Like, I don't know that they like specifically designed these florals. These might have just been what was available from fabric manufacturers at the time. I don't know. But you can see the detail in this outfit. All of this like pleating and trims, these rosettes that are sewn onto the sleeve. But this is to show you how her like head, well, I don't even know what you call this, but the flowers that go on top of her head, I kind of like push it over to the side. In the catalogs, it's like right in the top center of her head, but I think that looks so goofy that I kind of, just put it to the side a little bit. You know, a little bit. I feel like the one in the catalog is very like put a bird on it. It just looks really just like right on top of her head. So I just think it looks a little bit more elegant this way. So yeah. And again, this Felicity has really great hair. Her bow has come undone, unfortunately, but that's fine. But yeah, I love Felicity so much. I mean, getting lots like this makes me fall in love with this doll all over again because I feel like I'm seeing it through new eyes, especially because I'm sitting here like doing a long rambly video about everything I know about all of this stuff. So I just love analyzing it and falling in love with it all over again. And I feel like this is like basically a Felicity propaganda channel now because I'm gonna like talk you into buying all of this stuff if you can afford it because it's just so worth it. I'm so happy to finally be like diving a little bit further into Felicity's collection because it's just, oh gosh, you like I said, you can just see that there were no holds barred when designing it and manufacturing it. So pretty. So I was really persnickety and didn't put the socks on, like, because I have the original birthday socks for the first birthday set I got, but I didn't put them on because I didn't want to mess them up. But now I kind of feel like I can because I have really pristine ones now. I mean, check this out. Like, clearly never put on a doll. They even have the original Pleasant Company sticker on them. I'm going to get up close and show you. Well, apparently I'm not because all of these dolls in the background are stealing focus, but you can probably see from there that this has the original like Pleasant Company gold foil oval sticker on them. It just, that's how you know something has never been touched. If it's a sock and still has the sticker on it. But yeah, these are so beautiful. They have like this, I don't know if you'd call this embroidery or not, but it almost looks hand done. I couldn't tell you for sure, but to look at that looks like human hands actually put this together because it looks like the back of like a cross stitch or something. But yeah, really beautiful details. Just the forethought to put that detail on the socks, even though they're going to be covered up by the dress, just details on top of details on top of details is so incredibly beautiful. And I love the smart choice of blue socks with that pink dress. Like it's, you know, it just adds a little bit of extra dimension to it. It's so pretty. All right, I think the last thing in here, there's like 1,000 things in here. You know, when you compare this to like Felicity's winter cloak, there might have been some price difference in them, but it wouldn't have been night and day, I bet. And it's like crazy to think how much detail went into this outfit versus that like red cardinal cloak we saw earlier. But yeah, I mean, hello, check it out. We just saw it, so probably don't need to look too closely at it. But yeah, this is the the pinner apron and the dress. And again, they've kind of like tied it up through the like coat hanger and stuff. But yeah, super duper pretty. This is one of my favorite outfits for Felicity. And if you love like florals and pinks and stuff, things that are like very femme, like you will love this outfit. It looks, I mean, as you can see, it looks so good on her with that red hair. So this is definitely like one of my top picks for Felicity's like collection. If you can get anything, like definitely get this birthday outfit. I don't know that they're going to my gut says they're probably not going to bring Felicity back. But man, if they did, they probably would try and reproduce this because they've been redoing the birthday outfits. And, you know, it's a lot to reproduce. So yeah, like I said, I kind of think they're not going to bring Felicity back. So we might not see a reproduction of this after all, but it would be great if they did because this is so freaking pretty. Next up, we have what is a first edition for sure because this outfit was released a little bit later. This is a 1993 outfit. The product code is EXO, which I believe stands for Felicity Extra Outfit. So this is going to be her work dress, which is another thing that I already have. And I think I actually have it with the 1993 copyright on the tag. And I guess I probably should have checked as I was going through, but I can tell by the packaging that all has like first year tags. And I don't know how much people watching this actually care about it, but that's one of the things I've been doing. Like I said, I'm trying to get a complete, perfect first edition collection for the first 6 characters, like through Josefina. So it's important to me that the packaging is the first edition packaging and the tags, like, which would naturally have this anyway if the packaging was first edition, but they have the copyright year from the year that the outfit was released. In most cases, some outfits actually have copyrights from the prior year. So you, like, I'm trying to think, I can't off the top of my head, but some outfits, like say for instance, it was released in 1991. Sometimes they might have a 1990 copyright because they were just trying to use the old tags. So I try and get the oldest copyright date available for an outfit and obviously mint condition complete with the original packaging. So I think that this is going to tick that box as long as nothing in here is like stained or anything. But This is her work outfit, which is another, like, this is sort of like the opposite of what we just looked at. You know, the one before was like very like femme pink and floral. This one is like her scullery maid outfit, basically. Yeah, this is basically the dress that you could tell was meant to look dirty. Oh, and unfortunately, it looks like this one might have fallen victim to some aging stains. I don't think that this was the person. Something fell down. I don't know what that was. This isn't a testament to how well or poorly this was taken care of. Some things just don't age super well. This one, I don't know what's up with it, but I can see some like dark spots on it. So I'm gonna have to keep looking. I might end up, yeah, I'm gonna end up selling this. I'll probably try and get some of these stains out. I don't know what they are, but there's like little splotches. I don't know if you can see. This is a really fun outfit. I love this seafoam green on this mob cap. It's such a pretty color and just like a fun little pop against these like yellow green, like sort of. It's not a ticking stripe, but it's really close to a ticking stripe on this dress. But yeah, there are a couple of stains on it, unfortunately. I was really excited because I thought this was going to be my perfect one, and it's not. So this will probably get sold, and I'll continue looking. But I'm going to try and get the stains out first, and then maybe I'll make my mind up. If I can completely get the stains out, I might still keep it. Because that's still, you know, I can still consider that mint condition if there's no trace of it being cleaned. But yeah, this is her work outfit that was released as an extra outfit in 1993. You can see like how the dolls in the bottom are like trying to steal focus. This is so annoying. But this is one of my favorite outfits too. I love a demure look. I love stuff that's very un-Barbie looking, right? Like if it's like a little bit homely looking, like I don't know, there's something about that really like sticks out to me with American Girl. I think that's why I really was like attracted to getting one of those dolls when I was a kid, is because it was like that felt like a doll you could hug and it would be your friend, and not so much like, oh, this big fashion model like Barbie, for instance, which I love Barbie obviously, but it was just like a different vibe, right? Like all of those like original outfits were so muted and just I need to pick a better word. Turn the camera on and I can't, like, I don't think clearly, I feel like, but yeah, you can see stuff like this is very like anti Barbie, like I said, scullery made, but really really beautiful. I'm going to see if I can get this clean, but yeah, this should have a 1993 copyright on it, which would make it a first year because it was released in 1993. And yep, again, I don't know what happened to this outfit because it doesn't look like it was played with very much. There's just some weird age stain on it. But yeah, I love this outfit, and it's a shame that it's stained. But yeah, I guess that's a sign that I feel like I got a fairly good deal on this, because I'm obviously not gonna like message the seller and try and get like a partial refund or anything on this, or try and return it. But I guess that is the sign. Like if you see something like that and then you're like, I need a refund, that's how you know you paid market price or more for it. Because yeah, I'm not gonna bother them over that. OxyClean might take that out. I'm gonna give it a go. I don't think it can make it any worse. I hope not anyway. But yeah, I'm not gonna, like, just as a quick aside, I'm not gonna try and like get a partial refund or anything. I feel like this was all sold for a very fair price. There was just so much of it, it ended up being really expensive anyway. All right, this is the last outfit that I have in a bag, although there are more outfits that came with this because some of them are boxed. This is EDO, which I don't know what D stands for. It could be doll, but I bet you it could be dreams, because they used to say pleasant dreams, like Felicity in the catalog. So it could be like dream instead of like nightgown or whatever. I don't know, but it could just be doll. Who knows? I feel like the pajamas and like the bedtime clothes were always like such an like important part of the collections too, and certainly now, like they're some of the best selling outfits that American Girl is releasing for their dolls. So yeah, not entirely sure what the D was originally supposed to stand for. Probably doll or dreams, I'm not sure, but this is her original nightgown, and I think the shoes are called mules. I don't remember, but we've got the pamphlet here. You can see it says Pleasant Dreams Felicity. It doesn't say like summer story or night, there wasn't like technically a story attached to this, so they just said Pleasant Dreams Felicity, with this gorgeous colonial style furniture. And that, I can't wait to get that bed into my collection. That canopy bed with like the red gingham, can't like, is that what the canopy is? I don't know. It's so cool, so pretty, and apparently like gigantic. So I've really tried to shy away from buying the bed and the clothes press, because according to people that have them, they are just like so incredibly big. And I basically would have to use it as like a nightstand if I got it and have to get rid of a piece of like human furniture. But yeah, that's her Pleasant Dreams collection with the bed, clothes press, and her nighttime necessities, which is like a bed warmer. I don't know. My like crazy warped mind assumed that that was something for her to pee in, but that's, this isn't Betsy Wetsy or Baby Alive. So I think they must have put something hot in there or like put it on the stove and then stuck it in their bed to make the bed warm. So I do know this to not be a first edition outfit. So I probably will just go ahead and sell this. I'm curious to see what the copyright year is on the tags, but this was probably a 1992 purchase. And this outfit was actually released in 1991, but I have a 1991 version, and this is how the mules feel as well. They're basically, I would assume that this is actually some sort of like suede leather kind of thing. Like this feels like it's made out of a skinned animal, unfortunately, but these are very like they're very cheaply made looking. Again, I'm sure that was like the aesthetic. That's what they were meant to be like, but they're completely like flappity. Like you could like smack somebody with them. They're not, yeah, I would say not super well made. I don't know if that was what the aesthetic was meant to be, but yeah. And the ones that I've seen from this era too are always like really like scrunchy and crinkly. So, but yeah, this is what they normally look like. So I'm not sure if this is yellowed or not. This looks a little bit yellowed from age for me, but like these things were made out of muslin, so I don't think that they were like a crisp white when they were first made. But again, this is so expertly taken care of. Like you can see, like I almost never see this with the bow originally tied on the neckline. But yeah, I would say Felicity's, maybe this is where they save some of that money to put into like her birthday outfit and stuff, because again, not a lot of details, and what's here is like fairly cheaply made. It came with a mob cap, but yeah, you can tell like this has some age marks on it, like because there are parts of it that are a little bit, well, I don't know. This is actually very interesting to look at it, but I don't know if you can see on camera now. In the monitor, I can see it. So you can see how like this part, like the visor part of this that kind of pokes out. See how that's white and then the top part is more yellow. I'm gonna guess that this is just fabric that didn't age as well. Like again, I don't. It's very strange, but I don't imagine that these were originally two different colors. But this one here, like the crown of her head, has aged like and gotten darker than this other thing, and it's not spotty or stained or anything. It's just like this fabric like oxidized over time or whatever. So I don't think they've all done that. So this might end up being one of those really annoying outfits to try and find in complete mint condition. But yeah, like I said, I'm probably going to sell this one, especially if it has like 92. Yeah, this has a 1992 copyright in the cap. I'm going to check the dress and see what it has. Okay, interesting. This is a 1991 copyright. So you can tell that they were just reusing tags, and it was probably a different person making the cap to the person making the actual shift dress that was like the nightgown. So the person that made this had like a bin full of 1991 tags, the original tags, and then the person making the mob caps at the same time had actually this might not be a mob cap, but making the caps had the 1990 like the new 1992 copyright tag. So this would be considered transitional, even though it's not really something that people would care that much about, like just like a random Felicity outfit. But I definitely caught this right in the middle of transitioning from like the first edition stuff to the second edition stuff. So first edition tag, but this would all have been made in 1992. So we have mismatched tags here, and then yeah, interestingly, I think this would be considered transitional too, as we have the new version of the bag for 1992, the old version of the sticker that's heart-shaped, but the new version of the printing that you really start to see more of in Addie's era. So yeah, very interesting. This would have been probably like somewhere in 1992. I know part of me feels like a little bit guilty that I'm going to be splitting this up, because this was like a very well maintained and cared for childhood collection. But I think the bigger crime would be just purchasing this stuff and leaving it in storage to not be enjoyed by anyone. I don't, that's not the spirit of American Girl and Pleasant Company. So I do think these things are meant to be enjoyed, especially if you can, like, I mean, I will say I don't love when people take out factory braids of like original rare dolls and things like that, because inevitably you always end up like these things end up back in circulation, and it just kind of sucks that something's been like, I don't want to say tainted, but it's been like some of these things I feel like need to be preserved because they're a part of history. So this maybe not so much because it's not like a first edition or anything like particularly remarkable, but At the end of the day, these things were meant to be enjoyed. But like I said, that doesn't mean put a first edition dress on your first edition doll, take the factory braids out, and then take them on a walk in a swamp. But I feel like something like this is meant to be enjoyed. It's better to have somebody that will enjoy this than it just be sitting like in storage somewhere just because I don't want to split up a collection. So I'm going to try and be good and sell the things that I know aren't part of my perfect collection. And I don't know if you've seen my Addy collection before or after this, but I really had a hard time like splitting up my Addy collection, and I still haven't. So I have some duplicates because I had a harder time splitting that one up because everything was like perfectly first edition. But anyway. All right, and just randomly, this is the last thing in one of the plastic bags, but I ended up getting a doll stand. So product code DS, which obviously means doll stand. They were originally shipped in bags like this. The original ones had like a different style on them, like, but this is like the 1992 version basically. And these are like this, but this is still like the original style of the stand. This is actually like a drawstring bag, which is really interesting. I wonder why they put that in a drawstring, but here's the like actual post that has the waist strap in it. This was obviously, this feels like it was never used, but let me put this down so I can show you the base. But yeah, this would be the original tissue paper that this would have been wrapped in to protect obviously during shipping. And then we've got the original wooden base, and these especially during like their like height of like 2021 collecting, these were selling for like 30-40 bucks each, and there's like $20 is still a good deal on these. I probably will keep this one because I think I'm just going to have this style of stand for my main display. Actually, I'm either going to do that, like for my main girls, like I don't know, everybody has like their, like if you're somebody that collects duplicates of dolls, like you have like 10 Samanthas, you always have one that's your favorite, that's sort of like your main display Samantha. So I was thinking about putting like my main display dolls on one of these stands, but I actually might save these for my signed dolls. We'll see. I don't know about how. I don't like putting cinched things around like a signed doll's waist because it can. I don't want to damage them. We'll see. I'm gonna hold on to this for a while, but I think it might be worth keeping. I don't know. Maybe I'll sell it. Who knows? But yeah, that's an original doll stand by Pleasant Company. All right. While I'm picking at things, there's another random thing in here again. I feel like this stuff like kind of came like if you bought a doll really early, I feel like they had extra like paper ephemera and stuff that they had that they could ship with them. So here's like a gigantic like 2-inch button, like basically just, Felicity for president, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, I probably will not wear that, but I'll find a cool place to display that. It's fun to like pepper these things throughout your doll display. If you have, well, like me, if you're like me and you like really setting up vignettes and stuff, there's always like a place to put one of these things. So yeah, I'm gonna hold on to this. I don't think it's worth anything, but it is very cute. Okay, so one of the things I was super happy to pick up in this collection, and honestly it was like the thing that really sent me over the edge to purchase it because this is, I think, incredibly rare, is I got the ribbons for Felicity set, like the original version. So I got to go through my catalogs and be for sure that this was a 1990, I don't know if this was a 92 or 93 release. I'm going to say it was probably a 92 release. They didn't typically sell the replacement parts in the first year of the doll's release. So this is probably 1992 original release, but this is the original packaging for the extra ribbons that you could buy for these dolls. And this, I have everybody's but Addie's and Samantha's and Josefina's. Now I had these for Molly and Kirsten already, which were so hard to find, but I finally got Felicity's, and in here is basically a bag very similar to the bags they did for some of the hardback books you could purchase, but it's literally a bag kind of folded almost like an envelope like that. And inside, I'm gonna try and be really careful. I think these have been opened, but inside it you had an original ribbon set for Felicity. Yeah, one of them's been taken out, which is okay. I don't mind. It just means I have something to continue to look for. But you have like her meat ribbon, which is a horrible word, but the ribbon that's to replace the one from her meat outfit. A berry colored one, which is presumably meant to like match her school outfit. It's a really pretty color. And I sell replica ribbons in my shop. This has been one that's been really hard to match exactly. I am still looking, but I've got a really, really close one that works great. In fact, it's actually a better match for a skirt. It just doesn't, it's not like a perfect match to this. It's as close as I can get though. It's really, really close. And then we have this forest green grosgrain ribbon. These are both satin ribbons. This is a grosgrain ribbon. Again, I think presumably to go with her her writing outfit, the one that we're about to look at. It's a really, really cool outfit. And then the Christmas ribbon, is that even in here? Let's see if I missed it. Her Christmas ribbon is not in here. So yeah, this is sort of like a partial credit kind of set. I am really happy to have it, but I am going to continue to try and find one that's like perfectly untouched and complete. But honestly, this is a really good effort. I typically see this set in the box, like they boxed these later on. They're typically in like a white box. So to find one in the original envelope is really fun. I mean, I could piece this together with like buying separate, mint condition ribbons on eBay. They're not that hard to find, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. This is really what I wanted, was this bag with this product code on it. Very, very cool. Not exciting to most probably, but if you collect the way I do and love super like rare first edition, like just dumb stuff, right? Like most people aren't like, oh, I really, really need this in my collection, which is why I sell replicas. Like it's stupid to pay a bunch of money for this. If you just want to make your dolls look pretty and you can spend like $10 on, replicas in my shop and get the same thing for much cheaper and it looks just as good, But for me, I love having all the original stuff. I'm on like my life's mission to purchase and collect everything first edition mint condition that Pleasant Company made from 1986 to 1998. And that is quite a tall task when you take into consideration American Girl today and all of that. But if it takes assuming I live long enough, if it takes my whole life, that's fine. But I am just gradually trying to get every single thing that you could buy between 1986 and 1998. It's a really fun task to try and do because some things are really hard to find. This doesn't come up all the time. I feel like I've never even seen this for sale. So it takes years to do it, but that's the fun part. And trying to find things, mint condition, first edition, that doesn't show up every day. Like Felicity's school outfit, I feel like shows up every day, but you don't find it with the first, 1991 copyright tag with the packaging and all that stuff. That's what I'm trying to do. And it's a challenge to do that because sometimes that stuff comes up and they want $200 for it. And you're like, well, I have to wait for them to drop the price or just pass and wait until it comes up for a reasonable price. So it's been almost like playing a video game in a way, like trying to upgrade and collect and just make the perfect collection. And this, really gets me on my way with Felicity because this is honestly one of the harder things to find when you have the goal that I have. So I'm really, really happy that I have this. This is so random, but it was included. So this says EWH. Interestingly, it's handwritten on here. This would have been done probably by a Pleasant Company employee. I feel like by 1991, this would have been 92, because I think this is EWH was probably Felicity Winter hardback. So that would be Changes for Felicity, which I think was published in 1992. But this was written by like a team member at Pleasant Company by hand. It could be Pleasant, who knows? I mean, I have enough stuff with her handwriting on it, I could probably figure it out. But either way, handwritten on there by an employee, which is really cool, if not Pleasant herself. And the book's not in here randomly, but we do have, I think, a reading journal. I'm going to try and take it out of here. These things are so fun, and I don't actively purchase these things because, like today, you just end up randomly getting them. So I do want them, and I will eventually collect them. But for now, it's just, yeah. So they didn't do one of these for every single book. It just, I think, for each character they had them. And this is basically, Pleasant was such a teacher, right? Like, leave it to her to like sell like the most gorgeous, amazing dolls ever, but then give you homework to do like with your doll. Like that's so messed up. But yeah, these are basically like little workbooks, which again, I bet these were probably more intended for classrooms because I know that classrooms were getting these and they were like part of the curriculum in some cases. So there were reading journals and reading guides and stuff published for the original Pleasant Company books. So now I think this is the first one I've ever gotten. So, hooray for Felicity and her reading journal. So yeah, again, I say dumb stuff. I don't know why. I probably shouldn't word it like that because I don't think it's dumb. This is what, like, to me, like where a lot of the magic is like all of these like paper ephemera and things that, maybe weren't really even meant to be like kept around for a while. So they're kind of hard to come across and not as many people care about them. But I don't know. I'm building a Pleasant Company museum in my house basically. So just all of these random little things that were just kind of these tertiary things to ultimately sell dolls and books. It's really fun to have these kinds of things. So I get really excited. when I get a lot like this, and it's got like, yeah, some of this like extra little goodies in here, because I don't want to go pay $20 for this on eBay, but I'm really, really happy to have it. And then randomly a newspaper from like literally last week. I don't know if this is like supposed to be a ransom video or something, but if anybody's wondering if this was like filmed in the past or not, I'm still alive as of today anyway. One last thing of paper ephemera. I'm not taking this out of the packaging because it's like, who cares? But I did end up getting also Felicity's poster, which I eventually I want to get these. I don't have the space to display them now, so it's kind of like a waste to buy them. But these do like pop up from time to time on eBay. They had, I think it's like an 18 by 24 inch poster. Basically, the illustrations from like the original like Meet Felicity book, Meet Molly, all those. They ended up making posters for those, and I want to get the original 6 and have them framed in the doll room. If there's any walls to put them on, I feel like it's just gonna be lined with bookcases, but yeah, this is a really cool thing to have. Another thing that I just, I eventually want these, but I'm not going out of my way to buy them. And because, like I said, I just buy stuff all the time. You end up with these things at the end of the day. So rather than spending hundreds of dollars trying to buy this stuff, if you collect enough, you end up with these anyway. All right, quick hand washing break and a sip of water, and we will tear into the boxes that have some more outfits and some really cool accessory sets. I feel like it makes sense to just keep going with outfits because I feel like it's the most exciting thing. And I feel like if people are going to click off the video, they're more likely to do it for the accessory sets. So we'll just keep doing outfits all at once. So again, here we go. The 1991 version of product code EAO, which would be Felicity summer outfit. I don't know why they chose A for summer. The books were titled, what were they? Were like so and so saves the day. So Felicity saves the day. Yeah, I don't know what A ultimately stood for, but whatever. So again, we have the paper belt that goes around the box. These can be very, very hard to find, and also sometimes they can be hard to find with the original stickers on them because the product code stickers actually keep the belt closed. So some people would like peel them off so they could like take the belt apart basically. So sometimes you can find these and they don't have the product code on them. And for me, I need the product code on them because people mix stuff up all the time and it would drive me like crazy to have a paper belt from like a different set. It's again, it's an OCD collector thing, but yeah, this is like super duper original. Really, really great. So this is going to be, yeah, this should be her summer dress basically because originally her summer dress was sold separately from her hat and brocade slippers. So this should just be like the dress and the sash. So again, we have this like American Girls tissue paper in here. Again, just part of it being completely original. And we have the original pamphlet, which is always, like, this was always included with our outfit. So we have our summer pamphlet. Yeah, and in here we have a beautifully taken care of, oh, something else is in here. I don't know what that's from. I need to figure out what that was. But yeah, we have her summer dress. This is in pristine condition, and this should have a 1992 tag on it. This was released in 1992, and it does. So this is a mint condition first edition summer outfit. This is one that will be going into basically my archived collection. So I'll keep one of these just to preserve basically, and then I'll have one that it doesn't matter to me like which like year it's from or whatever, as long as it's like in good condition. I'll have one that is like my play version that I can display and kind of enjoy. This one will be like basically going to preservation. I had this in here randomly. I don't know what this is for. We might discover it later, but this almost looks like the same thing that her hair tie from her birthday set was supposed to go on. I got to do some more research and figure it out. I think this is too big for a necklace, so I think that this is probably, it's probably that. I'm trying to, again, more research will tell, but this looks like a duplicate for that. And you could order a replacement part. So there's a good chance they might have just ordered a replacement part if they wanted to keep one pristine and have one to play with. It's entirely possible because this was a very meticulously cared for collection. I don't know what it's doing with her summer story. I don't think this belongs with that, but I'll have a look later and see. All right, next up we have the hat and brocade slippers. Hope anyway, I'm assuming they're in here, for her summer outfit. So like I said, this was sold separately in the original days. There's one year, it's on the Wikipedia, I can't remember what year it was, but they started packaging both of these sets together and you had to buy them like all at once. But you could actually buy only her summer dress by itself in the beginning, and then you'd have to buy this amazing hat with the slippers like as a separate purchase. So Again, the same burgundy box as before. This is complete first edition, which is so awesome. Again, with the pamphlets, this was so well taken care. I'm so grateful to this child for having taken care, like such good care of this, because I get to enjoy it in like a similar way that she got to when she was a kid. So yeah, we have, let me set this down so you can see a little bit better. These insanely gorgeous brocade slippers. I mean, the fabric that they use for these, the construction, it's just amazing that this was a kid's toy in the 90s. Like, just so incredibly beautiful. And these still have the original bows tied on them. A lot of times these like to come undone, but these are still basically in their original condition, more or less. Yeah, I absolutely love these. I'm always so nervous to put them on Felicity because I have seen some of Felicity's shoes from her collection, including her meat shoes. These, the soles on them like to pop off. I think the glue got really crusty over the years. So if you like twist the shoe too much, the soles can pop off, and I'm really terrified to have that happen. So a lot of times, like you'll see my Felicity I showed you earlier, she just had her like regular meat shoes on. I didn't give her any like fancy shoes, but or socks, but yeah, brocade slippers. All right, and the only other thing in this set is this gorgeous hat whose ribbon has some fraying on it, unfortunately. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I don't want to cut it, but this isn't my display one. I have one that I'm used for display anyway, but this is perfectly flat. And I love how like there's like no, I don't know the anatomy of hats, but there's no place for her head to like go in it. So this basically just sits like a personal pan pizza on top of her head. It looks like so prissy and stupid. I love it. So yeah, it's got these like faux flowers and beautiful periwinkle colored ribbon. This goes so great with that outfit. Like, I see why they package these sets together, because you really don't want that dress without this. This is like the entire outfit is this like insane hat. I love this so, so much. So yeah, again, I don't know what to do about the fraying, and there's nothing I can do to really fix it. So I'm just so happy to have that box. So I don't know what to do with this set. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make up my mind. Maybe I can sell this and keep the box. I don't know, but who knows? For now, I'm just enjoying the loveliness that is this hat. Like this, like it's so well made too. If you can see like the concentric circles of all of like the braided straw sewn together, it is so neat and tidy. And I don't know if I swear you have to have like human hands involved in doing this. And again, I just am so blown away every time I sit down and think like this was a children's toy and somebody made this. Like it's so, it's just unlike anything you see now. It's incredible. So yeah, again, one of my favorite, like I don't love like the dress isn't like the best thing ever, but when you put this hat with it, you're like, that's, something's missing. I hope it shows up somewhere else. But she was supposed to have a lace cap with that dress. That dress is all I had so far was the dress and like the little sash that ties around her waist. It's supposed to have a lace cap that goes under this hat. That makes this hat look even cooler. Like this like lace cap. I hope it's somewhere in here. I hope I haven't like missed out on that. But I do have one. But yeah, the lace cap that goes under this really just sets this whole thing off. The accessories with that summer dress really, really make it. And that's why I love it. But yeah, if it was just that dress and the sash, it'd be like, what are you doing right now? But this is so, oh my gosh, this is so cool. All right, the final box dress is going to be another one that's like going to be a huge pain to take out because there's so many pieces in it, assuming they're all there. But this is product code ECO, an original 1991 Felicity Christmas outfit. And again, when we talk about icons, those Christmas outfits were so iconic for all, especially Kirsten, but really all of them. I think most of us know that. If you've made it this far into this video, you know the feeling of hoping and wishing for a pleasant company doll for Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever holiday you grew up celebrating. That time of the year, like around, like for my household, it was Christmas time, just flipping through that catalog and going like, oh, maybe this year Santa will bring me the doll. But apparently Santa's homophobic and didn't bring me my dolls. So anyway, I finally got the doll and all of her stuff, and I'm living my big gay life now. So yeah, here we go. ECO on the paper belt. Really awesome. So yeah, this set was originally sold in a gift box. We've seen a million of those by now today, and you're about to see a million more of them. So again, with the pamphlet, really great. This is from the catalog spread, just showing her with her Noah's Ark, her Shrewsbury cake set, her fashion doll with the invitation, and this insane Christmas outfit with like the doily coast, like drink coaster on her head. So interestingly, I think this, I'm not sure, it's possible that this is faded. I have seen different variations of fading in this outfit. So typically the trim that runs a lot like over the shoulders and down the front center of the dress, typically that's about the same color as the taffeta that this dress is made out of. This one looks a little bit lighter. I couldn't tell you if it's fading or not. Some of the trim turns pink over time. It was never pink like originally. So if you see one that has pink trim on it, it's not like a rare variation or anything. It's just one that's faded and turned pink. It's very strange, but yeah, I don't know if this is on the way to that or if they had, if I had to bet money on it, I would say it's probably a little bit faded. I'm not sure. It's actually, I like the way it looks. It actually looks better faded like this, or at least that's what I'm going to tell myself. But yeah, that's the main part of the outfit. It's got one of the stomachers already attached, which is my favorite one, which is just like the simple lacy one. We have this taffeta skirt that goes with it. I probably need to go in and check all the tags like on my own time if I forget to do them on video because we're running long today. But yeah, 1991 copyright, which again, this was bought from an original childhood collection. So I don't have to worry that some collectors bought a bunch of stuff and mixed it all up because I've really gotten to where I don't like buying from collectors anymore because I feel like people aren't as meticulous as I am and they will mix up box bands and boxes and they might put something from 1994 to 1991 box because they just bought it separately. So I've really gotten to where I don't like buying from collectors for that reason. I just don't like things that have been passed around and altered and stuff. So, yeah, that's why when I have an opportunity to buy childhood collections like this, I take it because I know everything's original. So I didn't have to worry if this had a 91 copyright or not because this wouldn't have had a 91 copyright without that box. So anyway. Oh, awesome. And so the lace cap that I was looking for the summer outfit was actually placed in the Christmas box for some reason. Probably the seller just mixed something up briefly, but that's the lace cap that comes with her summer outfit. And it's so pretty. It looks really, really pretty when you can see her red hair sort of glistening through the lace and with that hat on top. Not to divert from the Christmas story, but this, I do have the lace cap now, so I'm very excited. That's really great to have that set complete, or first edition in the original box. Very cool. And again, this was just so well taken care of. We have the instructions for Felicity's stomachers, so because you could change them out. That came with an additional stomacher with like basically this almost like mauve color. It's like sort of pinky mauve mauve. I have started picking up like the crazy southernisms here. It's pronounced mauve, not mauve. So anyway, we have a mauve ombre ribbon with like this little pearl detail on this additional stomacher that you could like swap in and out via snaps. And this is just the little pamphlet that kind of showed you how to do that. Again, it's so cool to have all of the original instructions and pamphlet and stuff. But girl, this is in the original. Yeah, this is an original Pleasant Company sealed bag. So this is for the archives. This is not going on a doll. This bag is not getting opened. But this is her lace cap that it looks like a drink coaster from your grandma's house with like a little bow on it. And this should have safety pins. And normally maybe they taped this back up. This should have safety pins on it. Maybe they're floating around somewhere else or they're in here and I can't feel them. Not safety pins, bobby pins. But usually this has two little bobby pins on the back. So that's something I'm going to have to seek out. It has the little loop for them. So there should be bobby pins somewhere. If not, then the set is incomplete and my search continues. And that's what it's like collecting the way I do. Because if there is a more mint condition box or a more complete version of it, I want it perfect. And if it's missing two bobby pins, it's not perfect. So I'm ultimately just upgrading because I want the perfect pristine collection. But this also has the necklace in it as well, which I thought was wrapped around card. This might have been taken apart a little bit, but this is too small, I think, to wrap around that card that we saw earlier that I don't know what was for. But this is pretty much everything except for those bobby pins. Maybe they're floating around somewhere, but this is like an original 1991 Felicity Christmas outfit that I get to box up now. Another quick interlude to show you some more paper ephemera that came with this. Again, this child had pretty much everything. So we've got Felicity's paper dolls that are completely sealed still. So I'd imagine that's all like good to go, like not like cut up or anything. We have Felicity's craft book, which might be a fun flip through at some point. We have her cookbook, which might be fun to, I don't know. Do I want to eat anything from colonial times? It looks like all they ate was pumpkin soup, apparently. And then we have Felicity's theater kit, which looks to be open. So I feel like this little girl and her friends back in 1991 acted out some colonial mischief. So yeah, I've never really read through any of those. It's not something I super care about, but you know, on a rainy day, if the power goes out, I might, you know, flip through them just to see what it was all about. But yeah, again, this stuff really isn't worth a whole lot, but it sort of just continues to add to completing my goal of collecting everything that Pleasant Company ever made. So, you know, I might try and find a spot for this on my display at some point, but for now, it's probably going to go in storage. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, even though I'm going to be back in 2 seconds as far as you're concerned, but I need to have some lunch, drink some water, rest my voice, free up some space on my memory card, and there's still like, I want to say 8 accessory sets, 2 more outfits, or no, 1 more accessory set in addition to that. So 9 accessory sets, 1 more outfit, which is one of my favorites of this entire lot, and a piece of furniture. So we still got a few more things to get through, but I need to rest because my voice is going to start sounding like I'm 13 again. So yeah, I'll be back in 2 seconds, probably with different lighting. All right, don't ask me if I know anybody that's ever had an entire bag of popcorn for lunch. Actually, it was popcorners. It's not like quite the same as popcorn. If you're somebody with sensory issues that hates all like the junk that gets in your mouth after eating popcorn, popcorners are very good, not sponsored. I mean, as if anybody's sponsoring this channel, but yeah, if you like popcorn but don't like the texture and all that stuff, try popcorners. You could eat an entire bag of it for lunch, I hear. All right, so anyway, it looks like the light is changing a little bit. I think we're okay. I think it just means you have to see more of my freckles, which, you know, at this point, who cares? So let's go through the accessory sets because I got a ton of them with this shipment, and might as well start with whatever's closest. So we have every time I read this, it looks like EGADS, but it's ECAD, which is Felicity's Christmas Accessories Doll, which I already have. This is definitely not the first version of this because there's a burgundy box version of this, and I have it already. So this is definitely getting sold. But it's her fashion doll from her Christmas accessories, if I can, or her Christmas story, I guess. Gosh, these belts are like on here so tight. I feel like I'm destroying them every time I like remove them and then try and put them back on. But we have, this is the version of the boxes that have like the white Samantha silhouettes. Basically, it's really hard to see, but I think we're getting it there. Like you can see, it's just, this is called spot printing, if you are unfamiliar with graphic design terms. But basically, instead of like printing with actual like color like ink on the boxes, they actually just print it with gloss. So you get like a matte version, or like matte paper or matte cardstock in this instance for the box. And then they just like basically print with clear, like a clear gloss coating basically that you would put to like put a coating on it. But they just do it in the shapes of Samantha. And that's how you get that really cool effect. So anyway, yeah, I do like these boxes. I still like, I'm so nostalgic for the burgundy ones. It's hard to like separate from that. But I do think that this is like a, you know, a fun period in time for Pleasant Company. Although it does suck when you're trying to like display your collection and make it look all balanced. Like poor Addie, like all of her entire collection is white boxes because she was released in '93 when they were doing this. Whereas like Felicity, obviously, like she still had a lot of burgundy box stuff. So it's still kind of tight. Even though there were changes, it still like kind of ties in with the earliest stuff. So yeah, Addie and Josefina like have white boxes. So they're kind of like harder to balance, like if you're trying to like display boxes and stuff. But anyway, I'm like probably literally the only person on the planet that cares about that. So here is her pamphlet that I think we saw earlier, and this likely has, yeah, so this has the invitation. This can be kind of hard to find if you don't find this set boxed, but this is like, I've never even read this before, but, and I don't remember the story, but there's some invitation to some like party or something. I don't freaking know. And then this is her Christmas doll, which I'm assuming she got for Christmas. And it like, this is they changed this at some point, but the earliest versions look like she has like a thimble for a head. So I like this one because it's like kind of strange looking, and I think the painting on it is really pretty. But it obviously has like a similar outfit to the one that she has for her Christmas story. And like if you've never seen these before, I don't know if this is scandalous. People are like, "Oh, warning, doll nudity." Like if you're the kind of person that like really cares about doll nudity, this is probably not the channel for you. But you can see here, like the way she's constructed is so interesting. Like she's got like she's made out of wood, like entirely. Like she's jointed and everything. She's got these like hinges basically, so she can sit down and do like a Rockettes like can. But yeah, isn't that silly looking? But yeah, this is like she's super well made, very very interesting doll. I love having this in my collection, but I think this is my third one. So this one is getting sold with the original packaging and everything. So somebody will be really stoked to get this because this is probably a 92 if I had to guess. Yeah, she has a 92 copyright on her tag, so she's incredibly early. And weirdly, she has some sort of tape on here. I don't know what this is. I'm not going to pick at it, but yeah, very cool. Love her fashion doll. Very dorky, very cool. Partial credit for not making the boxes big enough to fit a pamphlet in it without having to bend it, because that sucks. All right, we have another box of the exact same make. This is EXOA, which means Felicity Extra. I think that's outfit accessories, but it doesn't go with like her extra, like this isn't meant to go with her work outfit. These were just replacement parts. So this is going to be her shoes and socks set, and I think this is missing a piece in it. It wasn't pictured in the picture, and it might be here. I think it's missing one of the red bows. I'm gonna have to check, but same Samantha silhouette box. I don't want this all to spill out. So yeah, this is basically her shoes, socks, and garters. I think that's what they called it. But again, they're just replacement parts that were listed in the catalog. So, you know, as you probably know, if you collect vintage Pleasant Company or if you have children, doll shoes get lost. Like they just like, you know, they just get lost somehow. They take them off and can't figure out how to put them back on, especially the early Pleasant Company ones. Because even as an adult that's like dexterous, I cannot get, like it takes so long to get Pleasant Company shoes on. So they got lost like over time. And so that was like the ribbons and the shoes were replacement parts that were actually listed in the catalog that you could buy. And they're such a fun thing to try and find and collect. It's getting so dark here. I hope, hang on, let me check the lighting. Oh, this is probably going to be so grainy, but it was getting so dark that it was going to be hard to see this stuff. But yeah, hopefully we'll make it through. But yeah, so this came with basically shoes that were meant to be paired with her Christmas outfit, ultimately, I feel like. But these weren't like her, like a lot of the early Pleasant Company stuff didn't come with shoes, like their outfits. They say it was for historical reasons, which is probably also accurate, but it also helps to like, you know, cheap out and not put shoes with every outfit. But you commonly see these with her, like paired with her Christmas outfit. And I think they might have even added this. Maybe it was when American Girl took over, but at some point her Christmas outfit came with these shoes. But originally these were like basically sold as extras. Real quick before I forget, here's an extra pair of garters. These came with her meat accessories, which we'll get into in a minute. But you could like an extra set of the garters came with you know, with the shoes and socks. Let me set this aside so I can show you the shoes. But they actually came, I've never done this before, but yeah, they have snaps on them. So you can actually take the bow off, if I can do this without breaking it. So this snaps off with just like a little like garment snap, basically, like a closure. And then you can put on the red version, which presumably I feel like was meant to go, at least at the time, with her school outfit, and it just snaps in. And unfortunately, I do only have one of these. I think that might be the only thing that ended up being missing. We'll see. We've got some accessory sets to get through, but you can see here that you can kind of change up the look of the shoes without having to have an entirely extra set of shoes. So, yeah, like this would look great with her school outfit, for instance. So I thought that was like a really fun detail that, you know, didn't cost a whole lot extra, but you can really kind of change the look up. But yeah, I feel like this is a set that has a lot of really like great value to it. Shout out Walmart. But this came with an extra set of her birthday socks that we looked at earlier that have that really beautiful like hand embroidery on them. And then I think there's one more thing in here. I think it's just an extra pair of like, every time I say the word meat sock, I die a little bit inside, but you know, meat sock. So yeah, I think, good Lord, these are big. I've never seen these before. So these are like full on like stockings basically, but these are not her meat socks. They are quite like this, basically somewhere between socks and like stockings, I guess, but super tall. These would like go up to like her entire legs. So very interesting. I'll have to dig in and see if this is like there are different versions of these socks that like came with the set, but I would presume this to be like a 1992 set just based on like all of the context clues with this collection, but yeah, really, again, something that's a little bit on the more difficult side to find, at least for like not $1 million on eBay. People will get these things and they're like, okay, you can have it, but it's $259.99. So, yeah, I'm glad I have these. I am going to hold on to these, even though they're a little bit incomplete. I might just buy a replacement, this like little pink or burgundy bow to go with this, so that this set is complete and usable. But eventually, knowing me, I will find a mint complete one that is under $100. But for now, this is my set. Alrighty, tearing into what? Okay, I think they mixed something up. I'll need to double check, but I think they mixed the box bands of these up. Every once in a while, you will see like an Addy box that's this style of white box with this box band on it, and collectors argue over this. I feel like some people say that they were just using the last of these box bands, and Addie did originally come with this style of box band on her box instead of this style. But honestly, I just think it's people that had multiple dolls and got them mixed up, because there's no way to tell like as far as like any markings on it. But I think they just mixed these up. So these boxes are the same exact size, and obviously like these look mixed up. So I think I'm going to be opening. Let's do this because this is probably her meat accessories if I had to guess, and I'll switch these in real time. So this product code says EWAU, which means Felicity's Winter Accessories Underwear. So that's for her underwear set. So I'm thinking her underwear is actually like those undergarments are in the white box. This is probably meat accessories if I had to guess. We'll see. Or maybe they've got, I don't know how they've mixed it up, but this is the only two that I think have really been mixed up in terms of packaging. Hang on. Okay, so this is her winter pamphlet. And then in here we have, this is starting to seem like underwear. So this is a little bit of a mishmash, mix them up. If I had to guess, this is her underwear. So I think that this is in the wrong box, basically. So this should be her meat accessory box with the with that like ivory colored band. But we'll have a look. I want to check the copyright years on this too. But this is, I think this ties around her waist and like gives her like big birthing hips, like those like colonial looks where it's like, I don't watch period dramas. This is like the only like period stuff I like to look at. But if anything looks like it's set in any time period before like 1980, I don't want to look at it. So I don't be watching Bridgerton or Mad Men or any, I don't like looking at old stuff unless it's pleasant company. So if it's before the 80s, I'm not paying attention. So I would imagine this is what like Downton Abbey and kind of stuff like that aesthetic. But I think this like ties around her. Unless this girl is this like 80s like Golden Girls. This could be shoulder pads. Like imagine doing like a B. Arthur doll. Like you could totally like do some really like fat ass shoulder pads if you wanted to. Courtney, where are you, Courtney? So yeah, I think this was like the like colonial equivalent of shoulder pads. You just put it in your pants, so it looked like you have big old birthing hips. Because I guess that's all women were good for, according to colonial people, is birthing babies. Well, I guess that and far right Republicans. So anyway, look, you've made it this far. You'll live with a little bit of sass. But so yeah, this is. I've never used these before. I bet there's some really cool ways you can use this though. So I will probably mess around with these to see if I can create some cool aesthetics. But like the boning in these is like really like it's squishy. So yeah, this might be a really interesting thing to like try and really like make your doll look just done up to the nines like a drag queen. All right, this is gonna show how ignorant I am. I don't know what this is. This looks like an oven mitt, but like has a tie. I mean, in all reality, it's probably like a pocket that you could tie around their waist, and like, I don't know. It's beautiful. It's like again, it's got all this beautiful like stitching and embroidery on it. You don't really see much of this kind of stuff these days. So really, really pretty. 1993 copyright. I think this is a 1992 set, so there might be a version of this that I can get in an older box. Like it's basically exactly this, but in an older box. I think this is inside out. I don't know. Yeah, here we go. So we have this Is this a girdle? I don't know a lot about women's fashion and I don't know a lot about history. I would call this a girdle. I mean, Spanx, basically. Colonial Spanx is what we have here. And so, yeah, this is really, really cool. I think that this is really probably more just for like the suggestion. Like, you're not obviously like doing a full violet tchotchke on Felicity, like by like you can't lace this super tight and then it's like, a well, in her case, it would be like a 3-inch waist instead of a 12-inch waist. But yeah, I think this is more for show. I don't think we're actually like cinching dolls. Or was this for posture? I don't know. Anyway, there's Felicity's undergarments. All right, this should be her meat accessory. So this is the correct box band, but it's going to have the incorrect box. So EMA Felicity meat accessories. And again, we've seen a million of these. I'm not going to describe the box every time. And then hopefully the correct things are in here. Let's see if I can kind of open it on camera. I don't know. I feel like you're asleep now. I'm going to try not to make any loud noises. We have her original mob cap. Oh. Similar situation to before. We've got like a mix, like a mismatch of fabrics. Like one was made from one batch of, like the brim of this hat looks like it was made from one batch of fabric and the crown part of it from another, because this is lighter than the brim and it's not supposed to be like that. It's just aged. But yeah, that's her meat accessories hat. The necklace that we talked about before, this is that coral necklace that goes around. It's basically like the length of a choker, and it's really great at hiding the seam, like from her vinyl, like where the neck joint where the vinyl meets the cloth body. We have this original like brocade purse. I don't know what they call this in the Pleasant Company universe, but it's basically like a brocade purse, and it's got her little hanky in there with really nice lace detail. This is the little pamphlet that kind of was supposed to hold this little, what is this? The shiny coin is called a bit. So Felicity was into Bitcoin apparently. So this was the card that kind of described all of that and how she like lost it all in cryptocurrency. This is her bit, and this is her garters. We saw a set of these earlier in the shoe, socks, and garters set, and that's her entire meat accessories set. A little on the light side, but at the end of the day, the meat accessories really were like a pretty big upsell. But yeah, I mean, what's a Pleasant Company doll without her meat accessories? So that's like my third set of those. So these honestly will probably get sold. Although I'm keeping the doll, and I have that weird thing where it's like I feel like the meat accessories belong to the doll. If you get if you buy like a childhood collection, for instance, and you get the meat accessories with that doll, I feel like I don't want to sell the meat accessories because it feels like they really do belong to that doll. So I probably will keep these if I keep the doll. We shall see. All right, now we're going to start getting into a little bit of the meat, the MEAT of the accessory sets, because I got some things that I don't like. I basically didn't have any accessories at all for Felicity, except for her fashion doll and her guitar and some random like incomplete needlework set. I think that's all I had for her. I'll probably remember something, but I need to start like gradually getting her original first edition accessory sets, and this is kind of like scratching the surface on that. You'll see, like, basically if it's not something that I named and you don't see it today, I still need it. So I'm still trying to hunt down some of her summer accessory sets that are really kind of hard to find brand new in box, especially for less than like $250. But anyway, this is ESAB, which is Felicity School Accessories. I think this stands for books. So this is going to be like her, I forget what it's called, but it's like her inkwell set, basically. So this will be first edition because it's got the original burgundy boxes that were phased out sometime in 1992. So this is true first edition. This box, another pamphlet, which we've seen 1,000 times, so we're not going to harp on that. This is so heavy. I can tell that this is like actual porcelain in here. So this is the inkwell that originally came with Felicity's. Oh, hang on. It's got multiple pieces in it. So this even has like the original bubble wrap it shipped in to protect it, but I think this piece comes out. But this, let me see if I can show you this a little bit better. I don't want to like completely just like race through the end of the video for those of you that are still awake. But this is her inkwell, like this, like, and this is like full like porcelain. This like if I drop this, it would break. And I think it's got like this is so insane. Like, so I don't know how any of this stuff actually works, but so this little insert comes out and it basically looks like a thimble. I'm sure again they could have just gone with this, but I mean, really Pleasant was just doing the most. So this I would assume is completely complete. There are a few other things in here. Let's see. All right, we've got this marbling. Where is it? Like this marbled. Again, this probably wasn't called a journal, but it's some sort of like notebook thing with marbled paper, which apparently was big in colonial times. Oh, interestingly, I probably won't end up showing it on the channel because I don't think it's like that remarkable to the average person. But I did find Felicity's paper marbling set, like the craft kit, like for children. It's like nearly impossible to find, and I found it for like a really, really, really great deal. So I was able to add that to my collection. Eventually, we'll get them all, but that one was such a good deal, and I think it's the hardest one to find. And I was so happy to find that for a good deal, and nobody like poached it from me either because I bought it on Mercari. We got whatever this is. This looks like an eye test at the DMV, but probably more likely her, I guess, learning the alphabet with the original like made in Taiwan sticker on it. So this didn't have a Pleasant Company sticker on it at this point. Again, like an indicator of a very early item. God, okay, this is gonna drive me to the brink of insanity trying to figure out which set goes with which. So I did end up getting two sets of this, of the like this like book set, like her school supplies, and they've mixed like they've put both of these quills in the same box, so I don't know which went with which. That is so annoying. So there's two of them. One of these goes with the other one I received, and it's like it's indistinguishable. And most people won't care, but it's gonna make me crazy. Is ugh. Again, the kid probably purchased one, like got it for a birthday present, and then got one as a gift with the person not realizing it. This looks like a like a salt and pepper shaker, but it's not. I think it's like a. Did they use it to like put eraser bits or something? I can't remember. There's some actual function of this other than looking like a very suggestive salt and pepper shaker. And then yeah, there's a second one in here that's been stored in the bag, so it doesn't have as much patina on it. But I'm gonna lose my like absolute mind trying to figure out which set goes with which. But they are identical, so maybe it won't make me that crazy because literally same stickers and everything. They were probably purchased at the exact same time. But that is a completely complete and then some first edition school accessory set, which, you know, some of these things just kind of have become hard to find. You know, you would think, I mean, I would assume they would have sold tens of thousands of these. But once you start like trying to look for ones that are from the first year and really getting picky about them being mint condition and complete and having the like box band that I've misplaced, where is it? You know, then you start getting into the territory of things that only show up on eBay like a couple times a year, if that. So it really is such a fun day when you can score a perfectly mint first edition item because yeah, there might be 50 of these on eBay right now, but are there any in this packaging fully like mint condition and complete? I don't think so because I just looked. All right, this video is like I can't imagine how like long we have gone at this point. I'm not going to show you the second set, but just know that I got basically an identical set, and this would obviously be missing the whatever the shaker thing is and the quill. That would have come out of this set, but again, we're not going through that. My retention rate on this video is going to be so insane. There's probably like literally like a fraction of a percent of you still watching. And if you are, thank you for being here. You are so awesome. Thank you for spending this time with me. I actually mean that. I feel like that came across as very like YouTuber, like be sure to smash that like, but like I sincerely mean it. It's so fun to be able to share this with the like the people that get it. You know, the girlies that get it. So anyway, this is a duplicate. And like so frustratingly, I purchased this. This is EWOA, which is Felicity's winter outfit accessories. And I found this exact item. You know, I've been kind of on the hunt for this. I found it for a good deal, not a great deal, but I like paid for it. Like literally 2 days before finding the slot. It hadn't even arrived in the mail, and I ended up getting it in the slot. So it was like so annoying because I have to like sell it for what I paid for it at least. So I don't know if I'm gonna struggle selling it or not. So I have two of these. This is probably the one I'll keep because I know that it's completely like like from a childhood collection. But yeah, I'm gonna probably hold on to this one as long as it looks okay. But yeah, this is another like set that's not really that hard to find, but if you're trying to find it in the box, it can be kind of tricky. So especially like a first edition box. There's so much tissue paper. Oh my god. Oh, this is so like this is so uncrumpled looking. This is like the extra padding tissue. This is official. This is like that ivory colored tissue paper that they use to pad all this stuff out. I I love when it has this stuff. Like this didn't get thrown away. It wasn't seen as like just shipping material. It's packaging for the like what is essentially a toy, I guess. And it's nice that it's like here and mint and complete. And then we have her, whatever this is this called a muff? Whatever it is, it's this silky thing that's supposed to go on her hands, even though her hands can't physically do this without like breaking them or whatever. Let's see what year it is. Should be 1992. Yeah, a 1992 copyright that you'll never see from this distance. The camera's like all the way across, like on the other side of the room. Because if I get close enough to the camera, I have to zoom out far enough that I get this like weird fisheye effect on my head, and it like makes my head look weird. So sorry, I'm not getting close to the camera for many reasons. And then we have her like snowshoes. We have 2 pairs of those. Really fun to like just slip over her meat shoes basically when you like she's really easy to dress for winter because you just take whatever outfit she has on and like slip these over the shoes, like cram this on one of the hands, and then strap these like whatever these are around her arms that look very like, I don't know, these to me again the equivalent of like those striped arm things that all the like scene and emo kids wore in the 2000s, but 2 of these. And this is like honestly like one of the least exciting things for Felicity's collection, so I don't even like really care to do a super deep dive into those, and I'm sure you don't care that much either, but it's just like I love getting stuff like this as a part of a set because as you, like I said earlier, like it sucks having to go buy this stuff when you finally find it, but to just have like, to kind of get it like for a good deal, because usually when you buy lots of stuff, it's usually a good deal and you get a pretty good price on it. And it's just kind of fun to get things that way. So you're not like, okay, well, I have to spend $75, you know, of my hard-earned money on this. And you know, if you can kind of diffuse it into a lot, you know, where you've gotten some things you really, really want, you know, that's the fun way to kind of be completist without like actually hitting the Apple Pay button on something. You're like, I'm kind of lukewarm on this, but I have like the completionist disease, so I have to have it. And the final accessory set we have is ESAL, which is Felicity's School Accessories Lunch. And this is, again, not a first edition because this is a 1991 release. And this is probably a 1992. I'll see if there are any like copyrights anywhere on here. I've never actually had this set before, so this is really fun, but I'm gonna be looking for the burgundy box version. This is the white box version, so it's a little like literally like a year later probably. I'm assuming this kid got this stuff between the years like 91 and 93, but in great shape. This is obviously an early 92 set, like an earlier 92 set because it has the 91 pamphlet. This is so heavy. There's so much stuff in here. So we've got the, is this like a tea cat? I can't remember what this is, but this is like her tea lesson basically. Ooh, it's got some sticker residue on there, but that's okay. It still has like the original Made in China sticker on the bottom. And I really love this. This is so Felicity looking because it just like looks like it goes with like her furniture. It's like that same like mahogany kind of like wood color. Like, ooh, it's got like a piano key, like just quality. Do you know what I mean? A piano key hinge in here, and then a napkin. And I don't know. I feel like if I was gonna jokingly say what I think this is, I'm gonna get demonetized. But this is some sort of like pudding. This is obviously a very English thing. I mean, I'm surprised it didn't come in a can, but yeah, this is like, let's just call it English pudding and leave it at that. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So let's see here. What else is in here? We have a spoon. I mean, this is like literally. I've obviously lost my mind. I'm making like a million like drug references today. I'm going to stop. But again, this is very early. I would assume that the 1991 set looks exactly like this with the same stickers, but a tiny little spoon that Charlie XCX might enjoy having. Let's see. What else is in here? I think the only thing left in here, because we saw the napkin, is this like teacup and saucer that I'm going to try my hardest not to break, but Oh, this doesn't have a handle on it. You know, some of these things when you see in a catalog or just in passing a million times, you don't really like soak in the details. But yeah, her teacup doesn't have a handle on it, interestingly. So, yeah, one like less thing to like break off. So let's see here, and then we have the saucer again with like the original logo and made in Taiwan sticker. Really, really great set. Again, I think this is like such an important, like iconic piece for Felicity. Like the whole, the whole tea thing. Oh, I thought I saw one of my neighbors looking in. So yeah, I feel like tea is like a big part of like Felicity's identity. So yeah, this is like a cool set to have. So I'm really glad I have it. I am gonna, however, look for a first edition because this isn't good enough for me because I'm so freaking persnickety. All right, in one of the big accessory boxes, we have EWAL, which is Felicity's winter accessories luggage. Another piece that I haven't seen in person before. It's like that, obviously that like green lined suitcase. I'm really interested to see the quality because in pictures it looks like it's really high quality, and this is a heavy box, so it's probably, I'm gonna say like this is gonna meet my expectations, as does pretty much everything made by Pleasant Company. Again, we've got pamphlet in there, which is incredible, and it should be only the luggage in here. Yeah, this is really, really nice. So let me set this down. This is like a full on suit, like piece of like luggage. Like Louis Vuitton could never. So yeah, I mean, when we're talking quality, like the make of this is so incredible. I mean, this is all brass, by the way. I can feel this is metal. This is, there's not a plastic. Have we seen any plastic today, like at all? Other than like a clear plastic bag for like to hold like as packaging. But yeah, this has like a full hinge on it that like swings in and out, which is probably historically accurate. But yeah, this is from her winter collection. And if I can take this off, oh my gosh, it's like paper, like y'all. This is so insane. Like not only is it beautiful, like this is paper lined on the top and the bottom. I mean, this is why like I love having Pleasant Company stuff to like to display, because like think of all the cool things you can do, like you know, if it's winter time for your display, you know, you can have this like, this has obviously not been played with a lot, so I don't want to overly crease it and like break it, but you could have this like be open and have things like sort of like spilling out and like displayed in there. It's so incredibly pretty, and just like these little screws that hold the like the latch on for this, and all of these studs are like actual brass, like they're proper metal, and just all of the trim. This is incredibly beautiful. I'm so glad to get my hands on this. This is one of the, although Molly's is really good. I'm trying to think of what Addie's luggage is like. I don't think I have it. I can't remember if she has a luggage or not, but of the first four at least, this is up there. This is probably the best one that they've made next to Molly's. Really, really beautiful. And it goes with the outfit that I'm about to show you. If you've made it this far, you actually get a treat and get to see another outfit because it's in such a big box that I missed it earlier. But let me grab it really quick. While I'm doing this, I think this has gone so long that it seems ridiculous to actually show my entire Felicity collection. So I'm actually curious if you've made it this far. The answer is probably going to be yes. But if you'd be interested in seeing my actual Felicity collection with all the other things that I actually have, with all of this kind of distilled down to what I'm keeping and all together, let me know if you want to hear me keep talking about Felicity. I am going to be doing Addie and Josefina videos, basically exactly like this, where I'm just walking through everything that I have. But this lot was so big today, and it is honestly at this point probably, excluding dolls, like 90% of my Felicity collection at this point. So this essentially is a Felicity collection video anyway. But if you want to see all the other stuff I have, just let me know and I'll make another video. But anyway, so in a matching box, I also got EPO, which I think is Felicity play outfit again, because they just use the same like verbiage for all of the dolls. So, you know, whether it was Molly or Samantha or whatever, like PO was the end of the product code. So I think these were probably purchased at the same time. This is a first year set because this was released in 1993. So this is the only box that this would have been sold in. It wouldn't have had a burgundy box version. And so this has the pack. I think of this as the Addie packaging because it really was like, we started to see it the most in 1993. With the release of Addie, this was like kind of their updated packaging. So anyway, I ended up getting the writing outfit, which is one of my favorites. They changed it a little bit like later on, But even the later version is still really good. But it's just, I think, a little bit thicker and nicer, like from like the 1993 version. So we have this like tricorn hat. I think this is a tricorn hat. It might be a little bit bent. I need to like maybe reshape it a little bit, but it's still got that like floppity feather on it, which is like this is in nearly perfect condition. I just actually, you know what? No, this it's like that's the back of the hat. So this, yeah, this is basically mint condition. No dust or anything on it either, which is awesome. Or maybe a little bit, but this is her tricorn hat and this stunningly beautifully made riding outfit that is basically a similar felt, if not even a little bit thicker than Felicity's winter outfit, like her winter cape. It actually would look gorgeous over top of this. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody do that, but that red felt cape over this would be very, very Christmassy if you liked it like traditionally Christmas look instead of her like blue Christmas outfit. So, there's an idea for you. I might do that this year, but this is exceptional quality. I mean, everything is hemmed. It's like serged at the bottom. Let me make sure that they put this on here. Yeah, they attached it in a way so it's not going to fall. But I mean, like, look at the details on this. All of this extra trim on here, these buttons. I think this has a Velcro closure, but I have had this before. I ended up selling it because it just, you get to a point where you're like, okay, you're trying to buy something else and you just try and scoop up some things from your collection that you know you can buy again that aren't pristine and like sell them so you can buy something else you're looking for. So I have had this in the past, but I did sell it and I kind of miss having it. So this one is here to stay. Again, this has like, should have a 1993 copyright. Let's look. Yep, 1993. So this is a true first edition, complete mint condition in its original packaging. So I'm so happy to add this to my collection. It's like little peplum detail. Oh, it's just so, so pretty. And it's the most gorgeous shade of green. It is so 90s and so Christmassy to me. So Felicity's probably going to be wearing that this for Christmas this year. I'm really, really excited about it. But yeah, that is probably my last outfit in this lot. All right, and I think this is probably one of the coolest items in this lot that I saved for last. Again, it just depends on how you collect and what you like, but I alluded to earlier that I grew up with a lot of like Queen Anne and colonial style furniture in my house in the 80s and 90s. And so I really, really love Felicity's furniture. So I did manage to score one piece of her furniture in this lot, which is probably the most manageable piece, fortunately. But this is her Windsor writing desk. So this is like got the original packaging and everything. The box is in really, really good shape. ESF, Felicity School Furniture. So that's the product code for all of the desks that they made for each of the dolls. And something's rattling in there. I probably should set this down and actually just take the desk out so we can look at it. Yeah, you've seen a million pamphlets, but it does have the pamphlet in case you were wondering. But this is, I want to say pretty much, oh, there's like a little bit of a scratch here, but with some, like with the correct stain, you can patch these up a little bit. I will probably not seek out another one of these because it's just like insanity trying to buy and sell Pleasant Company furniture. So if you buy it, you really want to make sure you're happy being stuck with it. But yeah, this was a separate part. Like this has like a metal, it's not a hinge, but like basically there's like a little metal grommet that you put that in. So that's actually meant to come off, but this swivels so you can like set Felicity in here and like rotate that close so she can actually like write on it. Apparently, I was gonna say apparently she's right-handed, but honestly at this time they probably just like smacked everybody like across the wrist if they were left-handed and forced them to be right-handed. But yeah, but this is exceptionally made. I mean, this is the quality of human scale furniture. If you've ever seen chairs that are similar to this, like these Windsor back chairs that you can find in a lot of like southern towns still. This is like the same build quality as the human scale furniture of the same style, like these spun legs. All of this is so like, it still blows my mind to this day that this was this was a children's toy, albeit an expensive children's toy, but just the fact that they were able to build a successful company with this stuff. I mean, hello, a functioning drawer. This is just like, I don't know, just something that just makes my soul so happy to experience these things for the first time. Again, I've never seen this in person, and it's everything that I expected because I'm at the point where I know what to expect from Pleasant Company, and it's nothing shy of the absolute best with every detail paid attention to. And just, I it's why I love this brand so much. When I started YouTube, it was to talk about American Girl stuff, but I had plans of talking about Barbie and Polly Pocket and all the other things that I do collect more casually, but the things that I loved and remembered from my childhood. But I just cannot get into anything in the way that I do with the original Pleasant Company because there is no comparison to the quality and the care and the love. Like this is mass produced, but it's not mass produced. You know what I mean? It's like you can see the love and care that went into the designing and the manufacturing of everything. And this is just such a classic example of that. And I have nowhere to put this. It's probably going to go just on top of one of my bookcases for now, but it's just this reminds me of home in the best way possible. Like I'm teleported back to my childhood home when I look at stuff like this, and it's really special to finally have it after 30 something years. All right, folks, that's going to do it for today. If you have made it this far, I consider you my favorite person in the world. I know this was such a long doll chill video, but I really wanted to take my time with this stuff because some of it I was experiencing for the first time, and I've been waiting 30 plus years to be able to do it. So thank you for sharing this moment with me. It's like a very intimate, special thing, and I just appreciate that you're here and you understand, you've gone through these same experiences too, and I just love that we get each other. That's so awesome. I'm so grateful to have this space where we can connect over this stuff that a lot of people don't understand, but that's their loss because I think we're the coolest people on the earth. So that being said, if you want to support this channel so I can continue to make videos like this, I do have a Patreon that you can find the link for down below. It's the best thing you can do to help keep my channel going. I'm still trying to work up to where I'm making a full-time living so I can like keep a roof over my head and buy groceries and things like that by making doll videos. It's my goal in life. So if you'd like to contribute to that goal, feel free to check that out below. I also have stuff in my shop that you can check out. Again, the link is below. I have a lot of vintage American Girl items that you might be able to check out. Some of the stuff from today might even be in there. So that's going to be it. If you want to keep hanging out on YouTube, I've got other videos, so you can click on this video right here. And yeah, I hope to catch you there. I'll see you next time. Bye now.